Ask him. He was the first guy to open HBO boxing.
For lightweights. I was telling him that, yeah. I put the little guys on. If Floyd was on, it's like
Bobby Pacquiao.
Yeah. I thought he was a throwaway opponent. A throwaway, and he gave me the body shot. You never know. The story about that is funny because I got an offer to fight Carlos Formosa Hernandez, right? And I accepted it. And then when I accepted it, he not accepted it. So I'm like, what the heck is this? Right? So he didn't accept the fight. So I said, make another offer. My manager, Tom, offered me another offer, and no fight, right? So I'm like, why is he not fighting me? Right? Carlos Formosa is the world champion, right? He's the first one was he from? It's from a weird country. Not from Venezuela. He's from the other country. I got it in my head, but I can't get it in my mouth. And then what happened was, I had a deal with a company putting a patch on my shorts. It's like 25 grand. So I had to do this fight, right? And I have a contract to fight in New York City anyway. It's in the Garden. So I'm like, okay, this makes sense. We'll go back to the Garden, right? But they have no opponent for me now, right? In the last minute, they were doing Barbie. I was like, huh? Who? I'm like, why would I fight him? For what? Right? I looked at this racket. I was, looking at it, was like then when I flew out there, it was like more of a business for me. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really a fight. Like I'm used to training for a fighter for 3 months, getting ready, right? I know the focus. It was just weird. It was just thrown together. And then I didn't feel right in the first round, and I went around. Now I want to feel right in the second round. I told Phil, something wrong with me, man. I don't know what's wrong with me. Also, I heard a body shot, right? Now here's the part to the story. So after the body shot, right, go down, right? It's the first start to fight. They're like, yo, everybody in New York's like, what happened? Right? I'm like, don't worry about it, right? Then Carlos Formosa wants to fight me. After Bobby, I said, you know what I'm saying? Anything can happen. It's a fluke. This is boxing. So you can have a bad day. You can feel wrong. You don't know. You know what I'm saying? Boxing is a sport where if you're, I was 41-0 before I lost the fight. That's unheard of, right? So you think about it, you can have a bad day any day. There were days I fought where I didn't feel right. There's days I was sick. I remember one time, one fight I was fighting, my legs were cramping up. You know what I'm saying? You never know. And being defeated, it's a pick-up. It's a roll of the dice. It's a roll of the dice. And that's what I think we need to stay away from. You know what I'm saying? Because for Carl Lopez got the record. He's 51-0, right? And I helped him get inducted to the Vegas Hall of Fame about 3 or 4 years ago. So it's not really about the record because it's about the memorable fights. That's what life is really about. Because I told people, as a retiree, once you retire, you realize what sticks with you are those memorable fights. Like Coach said, Prince, right? Gainer, Dorsey. I got 4. The one that the people miss to watch is the one that where after my first loss, I want to take a break, right? And TV wouldn't let me take a break. I wanted to take a break. I was tired. And I signed with Bob Rammer, and I signed with him, and they threw me back in the ring right away. I fought Ricardo Rivera. You need to watch that fight. That's another one that's the only fight in my career I can say where I was getting beat up. Only fight ever in my whole career. I was getting beat up, and I had to come back, and God's my witness. You know what I'm saying? I prayed to God in the 8th round, and I came and knocked him out. And I asked God to win. You can't do that, and God will never give you the victory. I just asked for my talent and my skill He gave me back. And I felt tingling in my arms. I tell you people, I tell this God, tingling in my feet, my legs. It was amazing. I was like, whoa. And I got out there, and I remember Al Bernstein saying, if Kevin Kelley comes back from this, it's one of the greatest fights I've seen in a long time. I knocked him out in the 9th round with 1 punch. It was crazy. So it's good things to watch out there. It's like I said, there's no such thing as great fighters, only great fights. And that's what it really is based on. You hope and pray when you fight in your career. Or even me, I hoped and prayed that I have a great fight, but you don't know what's going to be a great fight. You know what I'm saying? Like when I fought Derek Smoke Gainer, I took that fight because Marvin Hagler told me to take the fight because I didn't see the benefit in the fight. I didn't see it. I was like, why am I gonna fight this guy? He's taller than me, got longer reach, and he's a lefty, and I'm lefty. Why would I, make my life hard, right? And Hagler said, take the fight. You never know. Like, all praise due to him. He said, you take the fight. You never know. I didn't know what he meant. You never know. That's what I never forget that. You never know. Never know what? What is he talking about, right? So what he was saying was, you never know when it's going to be an exciting fight, right? And it happened to be one of my top 4. I fought on one eye closed. It was what, 4 knockdowns. It was crazy. nobody wanted to fight Gainer at the time. It was because Roy Jones was managing him, and then they put the fight in Florida on top of it. So now I'm like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? So I fight anybody put in the ring with me. You know what I'm saying? Whatever size. I used to spar with Samuel Peter.
What?
Yeah, I spar with him. I spar with Samuel Peter. Buddy McGirt. I got Buddy McGirt ready for the Whitaker fight. I spar with a lot of guys. Shane, everybody. So it didn't matter. You know what I'm saying? You're a fighter, and that's the thing. Mentality. And I had a great teacher, Phil Borgia. Great teacher, Phil Borgia. A great cut man, Al Gavin, one of the best in the business. Then I had a fitness trainer named Seth Seidman. Seth Seidman was an amazing fitness trainer. I came around at an age where they didn't believe in fitness training yet. So I'm saying, when I turned pro in '88, my manager's idea. He had this fitness guy. He said, this fitness guy can do your conditioning. And I was like, just less off me, right? I don't have to worry about running on the street. And I worked in a lab with him. He did all kinds of elliptical machines. I did a Versa Climber, Stairmasters. And at that time, the older generation didn't believe in it. And I remember going to the Hall of Fame and they sit me down. I sat down with Jake LaMotta and all of them. They were like, you don't do no road work? I said, no, don't need it. They said, no way you fought Troy Dorsey 12 rounds and do road work. I was like, yes, I did. So today we have changed, we have evolved. We got machinery now that does the job for us. And you have a fitness trainer and you have a boxing trainer. I even had a nutritionist. Hire people that's a profession. If you're a professional fighter, you need professional people. I had a guy named Harold Parker. He was my nutritionist, James Toney's nutritionist. Amazing. He's the only guy that can get James Toney down and weight. Yeah. Harold Parker's his name. And I'll give him all the credit. Harold Parker, Seth Simon. It takes teamwork to make it work. You got to have people that are professionals in their line of work. And when you want the best fighters in the world, then you have the best team in the world because everybody if I have a problem, he takes care of it. I don't have to worry about nothing. Nutrition? That's why my whole career, I've never been on a scale overweight where I had to go lose weight. Always accurate. That's a good part. You got to stay dedicated, guys. You got to stay smart. And the game of boxing. Boxing's a game, so you have to stay very smart. It's dominoes. It's not checkers.
You got a prediction for this weekend? You mentioned about fighting taller fighters. And, of course, who could be taller than Sebastian Fundora? What do you think about Thurman's chances this weekend? He's an older veteran. He's been working on that overhand right. Could he demolish the Towering Inferno?
A very interesting fight. What's funny about me, I predict fights a lot of times, and it's weird. Fighters, we're more wrong than regular people. Because like I said, because we look at the technical part of it, we're so technical with it. Fundora's got his reach. He should win the fight, of course. He's got all the tools to win the fight. The question mark is will he use them? Okay? The boxing game is psychological, right? 90% psychological is only 10% physical. So if he can get in his brain, get in Fundora's brain, right? I don't know his game plan, but he's got to get close. Fundora's got to stay on the outside. That's what this fight is based on. It's based on if Fundora can keep him on the outside. If he can't keep him on the outside, he's going to be in trouble. Thurman will get him. Okay? And like I said, if Thurman knows what he has to do, he has to go to the body. This is not brain surgery, right? We know, right? Everybody would know that knows boxing. You got to go to the body, go to the body heavy and hard, and stay to the body. Okay? With the taller guys, got to keep his reach, keep you at the end of his punches on the outside, right? Use the jab over and over and over. After he throws his right hand, back to the jab, and he can win the fight. So if neither one of those things are happening, I don't know what's going on then. You know what I'm saying?
What's your take on influencer boxing right now? I noticed last weekend Blueface fought. There was more people watching Blueface on YouTube than probably regular boxing, and there was fantastic, real boxing. What's your opinion on that? Is that good for the sport right now? Is it bringing more attention to the sport?
Not really. It's bringing more attention to just that thing they're doing. I'm not a big fan of. I'm a big fan of celebrity boxing, letting them have celebrity boxing, do that. Use our art. It brings more to us. But I'm against the idea of these guys really thinking this is real, that they're doing it. It's not real. Right? Look, you don't see LeBron, because he used to play football, go on the football field. Right? So what I'm saying is, I'm pretty much against people trying to use our sport the way they use our sport and infiltrate it make all the money off of it, and then leave. You know what I'm saying? It's ridiculous. I don't see them using anybody around us in boxing. Have you noticed that? Real people in the game, it doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, boxing, professional boxing is a reason why we have to have a license. We have to have an amateur career. We have to have all this stuff. There's a reason why. You just not a guy off the street. You throw some. And I'm saying, somebody gonna get hurt. I said years ago about Anthony Joshua. I said Anthony Joshua is nothing to play with. You do not put him in the ring with these guys, the YouTubers. I'm telling you, somebody's gonna get hurt. Okay? He almost to me killed the UFC guy. His leg almost broke his leg. It's not right. Things that are right. I mean, you're doing it for the money. Obviously, it's an obvious thing. You're doing it for the money. But listen, I mean, you don't see football doing that, baseball doing that, basketball doing that, soccer doing that. No other sports doing that, right? And the people still look at it as a plus. You can really get hurt in this game. This fight, we're real professionals. Okay, we can hurt you. We know how to hurt you. That's what we groomed to do. So when the bell ring, all bets off. And like I said, and I think you've seen how the damage that Anthony Joshua did to Jay Paul. You know what I'm saying? His teeth were facing this way. This is not a game.
You were telling me that maybe you think one of the problems today is that maybe the top fighters are getting paid too much money. What does that do to the motivation for fighters on the lower end? I see a lot of young fighters are thinking about signing up with Zuffa because it looks good. But at the high end, like Devin Haney this week said he's spending hundreds of thousands on his training camps. But a prospect can't do that.
Yeah, but like I said, today it takes more money to get ready for fights too. Everything went up in price. Now, it's funny you said Zuffa, because my manager, Tom Loeffler, is part of that Zuffa boxing. So he left California, he lives in Vegas now. So welcome, guys. So Tom Loeffler is one of the guys also. So it's Dana White and the Fertittas and my manager and the Sheik. We're gonna see how that goes. I mean, they got enough money to do anything they want to do with. But I don't know. They won't do the things I believe that everybody's trying to do, right? It's limitations to everything. Everything's got limits. And boxing is, it's going to be hard to change it to something else, a whole new concept. You know what I'm saying? Like they do it, like the success they had with the UFC was great. Hopefully, to see what happens with what they're trying to do. I don't know some of the steps they're trying to do with improvement, except for maybe pay the fighters more money. Other than that, I mean, wear uniforms. I heard they went to use. We did that as an amateur. I mean, it was not amateur on the USA boxing team. I had a uniform, right? We don't have uniforms as professionals. We are designed to have our own independence. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how we know which fight is which, right? Now boxing's not a team sport. The only team it is the team that you have around you. Your manager, your trainer, your cut man. That's where the team is. They already got arena boxing, right? The arena boxing, right? They got that. That's a team sport, right? They fight one round, right? Dewey Cooper, you know what I'm saying? I know Dewey Cooper. Like I said, that's a team sport, right? And you fight one round each other. So I don't know if that's going to be successful. You know what I'm saying? Because boxing's been around since ever, right? And it's gotten better. It's improved a great deal. It makes great money these days, and fighters are still fighters. And like me, I can remember I say that I used to fight once a month. I fought twice in the same week. Twice, yeah. Hell, that's what you do. Why would you take layoffs? If you got knock a guy in the second round, you should be back in the ring 2 weeks later, right? Why waste time?
If you're not hurt.
Yeah. If no injuries, this is what you do. You box, and people want to see you, and people will see you when you're consistent. Consistency creates the spectator. So if you see me all the time, that's why I boxed and I also commentated, because I was always being seen. So you knew exactly who I was. So if you don't know who I am, then you don't watch boxing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that you got to think in your head. Stay consistent. You don't fight one time and I don't see you for 6 months. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not looking for you. Viewers, programming and TV, they're not looking for you. They got other programming on TV to watch. So that's the thing.
Yeah, the Muhammad Ali Act is coming up for a vote. The Senate is going to be voting on it. So I'm wondering, you've been around the sport for a very good time. if this thing passes, gets signed off by the president, I mean, do you see negative effects? Like, do you think it'll kill the club scene the club scene as far as boxing, and just kind of kill the small promoters? Or
I don't know. Like I said, because I haven't read it yet. Right? What's the new implement? They're trying to implement new. Things to improve boxing is okay, but I still got to see what it is. And the bottom line is, like I said, they need, to me, the act needs police, their own police league. Because somebody got to police it, right? Because you can say the Ali Act all day. I haven't seen one thing implemented. I've never heard a commentator say something about the Ali Act was implemented today, and this is why this is not happening, right? I haven't seen nothing yet of the effectiveness of it. How strong is the Ali Act? Is somebody policing the Ali Act? So when something goes wrong in boxing, hey, right? Like me, I would say, if I could put anything in the Ali Act, that you have to have the criteria to be a boxer. You have to have the criteria, the amateur experience, and all that stuff coming to the game, so that you don't get hurt or killed. You know what I'm saying? It's bad enough our sport is dangerous as it is, and then we don't need outsiders, the YouTubers, and all this other thing trying to enter a sport. This is not a game. This is for real.
Right. One of the things that is going to enable the Zuffa belt is already. I mean, they revealed the Zuffa belt, but I think it's going to have some standing or some legs to stand. It's going to be official. Do we got too many belts in boxing? I mean, we got 4 sanctioned bodies. We have a new avenue with Zuffa to become a Zuffa champion. Is that too much? One too many?
It could be. Like I said, I look at it like this. If I was in a one belt era when I was coming up, I would never got a title shot. So obviously we need more belts, right? So we can force the champions to fight each other. Now, it took me 36 professional fights to get a world title fight. Nobody fight me. It was crazy. So actually it worked out in my better half. That we had 3 belts at the time. And I won the BC belt, right? Now, the thing is this, 3 or 4 belts, it's okay. Because if and as long as the sanctioning bodies are forcing the fighters to fight. That's what needs to happen. You need these guys to be fighting not just for the bread or the dough, taking it from. I get it, but at the end of the day, that they pick this profession, and that's just what you have to do. You have to prove that you're the best. You think you're better than me? Okay, cool, let's fight. And that's where it needs to be. The Zuffa belt is another belt. Now we might be going to too many belts, right? We're overkill, right? We might go overkill. We don't know. But we got to see what kind of president, as I say, the Zuffa belt takes. Are we gonna look at it like, that's not real? That's not real, right? Or are we gonna think? And like I said, it's all by who opponents they pick. To me personally, if I'm talking to Zuffa, I would tell them hire a staff of boxers. I'm available also. Hire a staff of boxers, and let us put the fights for you. Because, they signed Conor Ben. Congratulations. Conor Ben's a good fighter. He'll bring that European feel to Zuffa, right? So just sign guys in different countries. That's great because guys that are not getting heard, now they're getting heard. On one stage. You get what I'm saying? And like I said, Venezuela, Colombia, Dominican Republic, you sign these fighters from these different places, and it's a good thing. Mm-hmm. It's a really, really good thing.
Oscar De La Hoya just was announced that Golden Boy re-signed with DAZN.
Yeah.
They say it's non-exclusive, which means he has the ability to work with PBC, some cross-promotional fights.
Wow.
But he's on DAZN. The only missing part of the puzzle is Al Heyman and PBC to be on DAZN. Would that be a good thing to have all those amazing promoters under one banner?
Al Heyman's been doing a great job, so we can't take nothing from him. PBC was struggling now with that one fighter, with Boots Ennis, right? So if you look at it, Al Heyman has done a great job, right? HBO's gone, Showtime's gone. So I'm from that era. That's my era, right? And now, you look at PBC, they kind of running boxing right now, right? With PBC, he's got the fighters. But it's just a matter of everybody feeling they could do this. And I've heard this many, many times before, that we're going to improve it, and it never happens, right? The improvement has happened as far as economics and the balance of the budget. And the fight is almost like I said, the boxing industry runs like the music industry. That's where most of the people come from. And Al Heyman comes from the music industry. So those similarities are very compared, right? It's like you don't see music artists no more, right? What happened? The contracts and all the litigation wrapped up in it. Same thing in boxing. It just needs, I think, more of us got to run it. more that do it need to be implement our own instructions. Why? Because at the end of the day, we know exactly what's needed. Right? They need to go to the horse's mouth and say, listen, what did you really feel is needed in this sport? Right? And that's where it comes from. A conglomeration. Like I said, if I could do things my way, have a union. Have a union of people that represent the fighters, because, everybody always tells people, when there's money, there's always corruption. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the thing is, like I said, with God's gift, the kids getting great talent. I mean, in this gym here, I train the kids. I got Kaipo Galegas in here, right? I think he's the next thing. Very quiet, very humbled. He's a lefty, southpaw. He's 11-0. Come out and see him. He's about to fight his Buffalo fight.
0-1.
Yes.
Got his fight this weekend on the Thurman.
Oh, yeah.
I got a chance to see him fight. I found Tim Blue. I'm very excited about Kaipo's career. Speaking of Las Vegas, we're here in Las Vegas. They announced that Floyd Mayweather and Pacquiao is going to be happening at the Sphere. I think in September, right around Mexican Independence Day weekend, around there. What are your thoughts on legends like that still doing fights? And this one's going to actually be supposed to be a real fight on the record.
Yeah, I got two feelings about it, right? Two feelings. One, I never stop being a person make money. I'm from New York, so my attitude is if it makes money, it makes sense, right? But the thing is, if it makes money, it makes sense. Does it make sense? That's the question I have. Is it time for Pacquiao and Floyd to get off stage? Sometimes we, as fighters, and I'm one of them, we just don't want to leave the stage because that's what we do. I tell a guy, if you're a garbage guy, right? You do the garbage. You've been doing that for 40 years, right? Right? You're a cop. You're doing that for 50 years, right? You're a cop, a firefighter. That's what you do. We're boxers. It's like we don't want to put it away, right? And because that's what we do. Right? And at the end of the day, that's what Pacquiao does. That's what Floyd does. They're not injured or hurt in any kind of way. So, hey, if they could do it, then let it happen. But is it late? That's what always people say. Is it late? The fans don't wait for nobody. We'll see how the numbers look if they pack the arena. I know Pacquiao's going to pack the arena.
Tell me a little bit about Sucker Punch, your show.
Well, yes, we have a show called The Sucker Punch. You can catch it on Instagram. It's called The Sucker Punch Show, right? On The Sucker Punch, look for Colin Gates and Kevin Kelley. And you can look at it. We got about 80,000, 90, somewhere around there. We've got everybody interviewed. We interview everybody. It's a little, yes, it's a little different. It's not even IG Live. We do it, then we drop it down. It's a show. It's designed to be a show. I was looking to merge with one of these boxing shows. I think they could use us very well. You know what I'm saying? Because the thing is that I see in boxing what they're not doing, right? And everybody's experimenting, okay? And I try to tell them, okay, listen, let's try this. I think this will work a little bit better, So that's what we do in Sucker Punch. You figure if they're not going to do it yourself. And that's what me and Colin Gates have done. We do it ourselves. And the Sucker Punch show is, like I said, go on IG, get on board, take a look at it. We interview people at various different locations. Sometimes we're in the studio, sometimes we're not in the studio. And we ask the proper questions that should be asked. If people are looking for something, I interviewed Dante Wilder's mother, not Dante. Why? Because I want to know what happened. You know what I'm saying? Behind the scenes stuff. So I dig deep. I look at it as if when people interview me, if it was me doing it, what would I say to that person? Right? Yeah. What intricacies? A lot of people don't know that fighters that pay 33 1/3 and 10% to the trainer, and they don't know the breakdown. So we teach them the breakdown on our show. We teach you what's really involved in boxing, how turning pro is. We identify and let people know. We interviewed Joe Cortez. We interviewed a referee. That's a very important thing. People don't talk to the referee. Why you don't talk to the referee? I don't understand that, right? He sees everything. He's the guy that's in the middle. He keeps the action going. He's protecting both fighters at the same time. That's a hard job to do. That's a very hard job to do.
And when do the new episodes drop? Every week?
Yeah, well, no, once a month sometime. Okay. But we've been lazy. I'm sorry, guys, but we've been lazy. But we got some great footage on there right now you can watch. I think we did Keith Thurman. I believe we did him already. Errol Spence knows us firsthand. We do Errol Spence. I think we did a little bit of Bud. So we got some stuff on there. So take a real good look at the Sucker Punch show because it's coming to you.
Kevin Kelley, I appreciate the interview.
You got
it. Boxing. Thanks a lot, man. Appreciate it.
You got it.